As someone who's in the true crime industry, I can tell you the idea of a killer skirting the system to get away and kill again, that is something that the public will not accept. And that is a very new allegation in a very high-profile case. Let's go back. It took more than 5 years after Natalee Holloway vanished in Aruba back in 2005 for her killer, Joran van Sloot, to end up behind bars. And at that point, it had nothing to do with Holloway's disappearance. It wasn't until 2010 when van Sloot was arrested in Chile for the murder of 21-year-old Stephanie Flores, who authorities say he killed in a Peruvian hotel room 5 years to the day that Natalee Holloway disappeared. And now, just yesterday, veteran journalist Greta Van Susteren took to her Substack page to put the Birmingham FBI on blast after she claims she obtained and reviewed over 1,000 documents related to the Holloway case, claiming that the death of Stephanie Flores was preventable. Van Susteren accuses the FBI of mishandling a 2010 sting operation involving van Sloot, claiming that agents had enough evidence at that time to arrest him, but instead, he got away. He was allowed to leave Aruba with $25,000 of Beth Holloway, Natalee's mother's money. And she writes that the FBI secretly recorded van Sloot accepting the cash, confessing to killing the Alabama teen, but instead of arresting him, they allowed him to leave the country, travel to Peru, and then it was just a few weeks later when Flores was also dead. Now, Van Susteren says that after reviewing the documents, that the FBI and federal prosecutors, they missed multiple opportunities to charge van Sloot with extortion and wire fraud, maybe manslaughter, changing the course of history and keeping Flores alive. That's their main point. It wasn't until 2023 that van Sloot confessed to beating Holloway to death with a cinder block after she rejected his sexual advances. This was part of a plea agreement in that extortion and fraud case. He received a 20-year sentence that he's now serving concurrently, meaning at the same time with the 28 that he's serving in Peru for the murder of Stephanie Flores. So the big question, of course, is, could anything else really have been done? I'm joined now by Jon Buehler, retired Modesto Police Department detective who famously investigated the disappearance of Scott Peterson. Good to see you, sir. So Greta Van Susteren gives a very detailed description of how this 2010 sting was arranged and how it went down. Essentially, that Joran van Sloot was demanding like a tenth of $250,000 for information on where Natalee was, where her remains were, that Beth Holloway agreed. Then the sting was set up, like what Greta said, resembled that of a controlled drug purchase, but that the big mistake was believing he was going to tell the truth, and then he leaves the country. Your thoughts?
Well, Jesse, good to be with you again, as usual. Yeah, it's a very compelling narrative that Greta puts forth on that. Anybody gets a chance to read it, it's very convincing. Of course, you know, we never know what is not in there, but Greta, as an attorney, she has an insight in these things from the legal aspect, which, of course, is very good. It does seem like the ball was dropped in this. There's many opportunities they would have had to arrest him on, of course, lesser charges than the Holloway murder. It's a little bit difficult with his repeated lies. He made so many different lies, so many different stories. So a statement against what they call penal interest without any consistent information might be difficult.
I hear you. I hear you in the sense if somebody says, I just committed this murder, I imagine you could arrest them at that moment. I mean, I guess they could have arrested him, charged him with manslaughter, or in this case, and you tell me, you're the expert, you say, okay, hang on, and then you have to look to see if there's any corroborating evidence, because if he took the cash, isn't that extortion? I mean, it seems to me, based on her account, and yes, it's her account, her view of the documents, they could have taken him in immediately.
Yeah, they had several different lesser included offenses that might not be, you know, rise to the part of the murder. But of course, then you can start dealing with him, and you can start making some things to you know, keep him in jail, locked up longer. But the bottom line on this thing, looking through everything that Greta had so thoroughly researched, you know, thanks to a FOIA and everything like that, he wouldn't have been able to go down there to Peru and kill another gal. That was the big thing.
But in your experience, even if you don't have enough to hold someone, you still keep a careful eye on them. There's no contingency plan put in place to make sure they don't flee?
Well, it seems like there would have been enough to be able to seize his passport, keep him there under surveillance, at least something like that. Aruba is a friendly country to the United States, so we have agreements with them. The FBI is involved in this, of course, so you have federal jurisdiction on part of this, American citizen killed in a foreign country. But I've seen this before over the years, sometimes inexperience, sometimes I hate to say laziness, but of course that's kind of a magnet sometimes in law enforcement, not trying to accuse anybody. But a case like this, high profile like this, you would think that you would have put 110% effort into it.
I got to address a couple things here. And you make the good point. We don't have all the information. We don't know what their perspective is. But, Greta notes that on June 2nd, 2010, so this is just 3 days after the death of Stephanie Flores, agents were asking the deputy head of the Birmingham FBI if they needed to lawyer up. Let me amplify that a little bit more. There was even a message, apparently, that they have to cover their six. That seems alarming to me.
With some pretty big bells going off, I got to agree with you on that. There's no reason to have to worry about you're going to get jammed up on something if you did everything right. But the mere fact that they've got that documented in interagency memos going out, it seems to me like somebody was worried that they knew they dropped the ball on this thing and they could stand to get jammed up on it. It's not uncommon. I mean, you don't hear it all the time, but on a case like this, it's a little surprising because you would think that they would have their best and brightest on this.
And she also makes the allegation that there was a cover-up, right? The allegedly delaying filing of charges, the alleged withholding of information from an attorney, allegedly misleading the family through omissions. We got 20 seconds. What do you make of that alleged cover-up?
Well, I'm not going to walk the plank too far on the cover-up thing. It could equally be a situation where there was just maybe laziness, maybe incompetence, maybe lack of experience. I'd like to say lack of experience more than anything else because that doesn't cast shade on somebody else. But it seems like some ball was dropped somewhere along on the field in this case.
She has probably reignited a conversation, so we'll see what happens to it. Jon Buehler, good seeing you. Spoiled. I saw you in person a couple months ago. Now I want to see you in person all the time, but I'll take it any which way. Good seeing you, my friend.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.